Hi, and welcome to Love, Life, and Lies. I'm your host, Kevin Evans, and we have once again the always beautiful Callie joining us. Hi, Callie.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Fantastic.
So I'm going to throw myself in the sword today. We're going to talk about white men are pigs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very easy subject, obviously. I have some personal knowledge of this, being a man. I have been a pig before. Guess it's interpretation, right? So right now what I've experienced is men have a huge identity crisis. Over the years, they've been taught to be strong, independent providers, and now the message being jammed down on them is be in touch with your feminine side, be emotional, and the strength has been gone. With that said,
It's very unfortunate.
it is. And as we talked previously, that women typically like three things in a guy: confidence, to feel protected, and a sense of humor.
Yes.
If you have those, you're going to do well. Now, some guys realize that, and they use that as a weapon or an approach in order to satisfy their sexual needs.
Yeah. Well.
Or to start a relationship. I mean, there's...
Yeah. I'm like, well, everybody has their things, so...
Right. It depends where you fall.
Yes.
It depends on which category you fall in. But not wrong so far, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. But men in general have a tendency to be a little bit more piggish, I think, than women. Women are messed up in their own ways. We talked about that in a previous episode. But more of a challenge.
More
of a challenge.
A challenge, okay.
Yes. Now, my philosophy is always, it's not absolute, but there's levels 1 to 10. There's certain pigness in all guys. Now, whether it's level 1 or level 10, there's pigdom in them. That's why sex sells. That's why beautiful women on billboards, all that stuff, it will draw attention.
Mm-hmm.
And men are very visual, where women are more emotional that way.
Yes.
And so it's easy to get a man's attention visually than it is emotionally. And marketers know this. That's why strip clubs are so successful. And there's a number of them. I was reading a stat, I'm trying to remember the exact stat. I think it said between 20 and 22% of all married men have had an affair.
Between how many?
20 and 22% of
okay.
all men.
That's lower than I thought it would be.
I know. That's I guarantee that number's higher. There's no way these people are telling the
those
truth.
are the ones that got caught. Right?
Exactly. Or they're being those ones are being truthful.
Okay.
Now, on the women's side, what's the stat I saw? 13 to 14% of women have been unfaithful. I think that number's too low too.
I do too.
So
girls are a little better at not getting caught though, I think.
Yeah, because they may have time at home, whatever it is. They're better liars sometimes than men. Men are too stupid to lie.
Well, I just don't think they care enough to either.
Men?
Like they're so used to like not really caring enough to lie for the most part.
Men?
Yeah.
Well,
Men.
I think a lot of women know that their husband's cheating, but they're happy with their lifestyle, so therefore they don't cause waves, and they're okay with that. And then they go out and bang a pool boy. Or their tennis instructor.
Well, because he's probably giving her more attention, right?
He's good at skimming the pool. Ha! Sorry, that's a joke, I guess. Not funny.
I don't know. I feel like, no, sorry. I went into thoughts. I was like, I feel like because he's probably there more than the husband. And that's just my random opinion.
Because he understands emotional. We're talking, I don't know how many pool boys. Some of the pool boys I've seen in my neighborhood would not qualify for that. So I guarantee a lot of women.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, a lot of women in my neighborhood are not sleeping with a pool boy.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like judging based off of my freaking watching movies with the pool boys, you know? It's like the husband's not home. Oh, I'm so alone. I just had the pool boy to stare at.
No, that's the washer repairman. Oh, I'm caught in the dryer or whatever it is, right?
Or something.
Yeah.
A plumber, maybe. I don't know.
So the one thing about guys I've noticed is there's no loyalty. They will stab each other in the back in a heartbeat for a piece of ass.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the sad part. Because they will screw up long-term relationships that they have with very good friends of theirs or business partners or whatever it is for a piece of ass.
Yes.
And that's sad.
I've seen that.
All because they think with the wrong head.
Yep.
And I see this over and over and over again. And having been back out in the dating scene where maybe I'm out there talking with a woman. It's kind of funny. People laugh at this. When I go out, I don't go out with the intention of picking up women. I just don't. I try to be unapproachable or silent. If I'm sitting there and I'm talking with a woman, maybe she comes up to me or I just happen to talk to her somehow. And I have a friend of mine or a guy will sit down and he'll start hitting on the woman that I'm talking to. And I'm talking married guys that I know their wife too. And they're starting hitting on the woman I'm talking to. I'm going, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? So now, not only am I competing with single guys, I'm competing with married friends of mine.
That's weird. Okay.
Freaking crazy.
Okay. I've seen it happen, but I've never actually.
Oh, I've experienced it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then, so I'll have people over.
Makes you be like, dude.
Well, that's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm going, what are you thinking? On a number of different levels. First, I'm your buddy. Number two, you're married. So that's not a good image to put out there. But I see this all the time.
I've noticed guys that don't go out often. They'll married men that don't go out often because they get repressed.
Well, their identity becomes a couple. I mean, there's good guys. There's a lot of good guys out there. I know a bunch of good guys that would never stray that way. But I also hear them talk. These same guys that are straight will be demeaning towards women a little bit.
Well, I've in my experience, I've noticed that the guys that I've noticed that are married, unless they're just complete, pieces of shit, they're just looking for attention a lot of times. I don't actually see them go home with the girls.
Right.
They're just flirting because they're not getting the attention at home.
I see that too.
And men need attention more than they want to admit.
they need that reinforcement of not necessarily power, but to feel appreciated.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons guys stray too, because now they get that. And it's the problem with guys too. What happens is a woman who is nice to a man, just being nice, the man thinks that, oh, she's hitting on me, she wants me.
So annoying.
And that's the problem with being a woman. When you're talking to a man, they think, oh, they're hitting on me. And the difference between hitting and flirting is very distinctive. Flirting is somebody making somebody feel good about themselves. Hitting on is the intention to follow through with flirting. So hitting on is the next extension of flirting. Because I flirt with all sorts of people to make them feel good. I have no intention on hitting on them. And I do it in a very fun way.
Is that not just being nice?
Kinda.
Right? I don't see that as flirting. Like, I feel like just being nice.
It's a definition. It is being, well, it depends on what you say. Like, oh, baby.
Yeah, no.
And I'll do that to dudes too. It's like, to be fun. It's a flirt. Flirting is being nice to somebody. It's making somebody feel good about themselves.
Okay. See, I feel like it's just being nice.
It could be. Well, niceness is part of flirting.
Is it? Well, I feel like there's...
Flirting is like a seductive dance almost in a way. But with not the intention of following through.
I feel like I've struggled with that, like being a nice girl.
Women can't be nice to guys.
Well, I don't want to be a bitch,
Sometimes I have to turn on some guys too. That's a hit on it.
Well, I'll just be nice, and then they start.
Right.
It's like that look.
That's my point.
And
if
you're just like, okay.
You're nice. If you're nice, flirting. That's what I'm saying. Women can't be nice to guys without guys thinking they're hitting on them.
It's weird.
It's ego. Sometimes they need that affirmation because they're not getting it at home.
Yeah.
Take out the trash. Do the dishes. What's wrong with you? So guys are losing their ego. It's an ego thing. Basically, they're not feeling that strength, that they're in the power or they're in the protection mode or they're confident. So they're not getting that at home because now as a partnership, it kind of flows that way. So the woman's not making the man perhaps feels good about himself as he wants to be. Why it's the man's job in a relationship to court the woman. Even when they're married, you should still date your wife.
Yes.
You should still be romantic on occasions.
And I agree. I agree with that. And the wife needs to not take that for advantage or take advantage of that.
She needs to also respond to his like, yes. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Not stab in the back or well, it's about time. And a lot of women do that too. They'll belittle the guy in front of people. Never do that. Praise in public, criticize in private.
Yes, it always blows my mind when I see couples and one's demeaning the other. Both ways suck, but yeah, both ways just suck.
Yeah,
And
cheating.
you're like, why are you being mean to the person you're supposed to love? It's weird.
A lot of that's frustration instead of a bigger problems. It's kind of funny when I used to
I just don't get that. I'm like, if you're frustrated, fucking work it out, or like
communication.
communication. Yes.
It's funny when I used to travel a bunch in business. I'd be at the airport and I would look around, and I just loved this. You could tell the people that were happy and weren't. Nothing gave me better joy than to see an elderly couple there holding hands, sitting in the airport, sipping coffee, or trading, and just still in love.
Super wholesome.
It's freaking awesome, and that's what everybody wants. And then you see these couples that they can't even look at each other. They're doing totally opposite things, and there's no connection. They're going, they are not happy.
I didn't even think about it when you said the airport. That actually is a perfect place to see people's true selves.
It's freaking awesome. Or Disney World. Oh, I was at Disney World one time.
Never been there yet. But.
It's, I saw this guy, him and his wife and the kids were there, and the most stupid argument I've ever heard. The guy goes, no, we're going to do what I want to do right now. I'm tired of doing everything for you guys. I'm going, really? It's Disney World. How can you be angry at Disney
kids?
World? Go to Space Mountain, dude.
And he's talking to the kids too?
The wife.
With the kids?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they had kids there.
Yeah, it was wife and kids. Yeah.
Okay.
And he was about me. It's like, dude, chill out, right?
Cringe.
So women, yeah. So there has to be a mutual respect there. And in something when men are working hard all day, and if they're in upper management too, they have to make all these decisions. They're in a power and they're belittled by their wife. Now they're dropped down a notch or two. And that kind of frustrates them. And so these guys, if they're on business trips, they'll stray. That's what sets it off. Or if the wife's belittling all the time, they'll stray. It takes a pretty strong man not to do that. At least have the communication, right?
Oh, for sure.
But the women, there's times there's frustration. But
and
if
I feel like they either like end up numbing themselves or get very aggressive.
with the men, yeah, they just surrender. They just surrender to it and say, well, it's for the kids. And the women do that too. And sometimes the women know the guy's straying, but they're okay with their lifestyle. If I lose this, then I lose the tennis, I lose the golf membership, I lose the house, and I have to be...
See, and that's what's interesting. Because maybe because I've been through marriage before, and I've been through long and weird relationships and good relationships, and I just feel like you really need to knock the problem or whatever issue in the very beginning, because that's what eventually happens in marriage. Like, you'll get unhappy with each other. Well, what I've noticed a lot, they get unhappy with each other. They end up doing petty things to each other, and then it ends up with them, the man going off to cheat and the girl just settling because she's married to him, when all along in the very beginning, I feel like they could have just talked about the fucking problem. Oh, my apologies. And worked that out and be fine.
Like,
have a great sex life. Men want a great sex life.
Men want a great sex life. Yeah. They want to feel sexy. Men want to feel...
I said men, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Well, both. I mean, they both want to feel appreciated. Number one, in a relationship, they both want to feel appreciated.
Yes.
So the man wants to feel like the protector still a little bit, like he's looked up to a little bit. And the woman wants to be romanced.
Yep.
They want to feel special. If you keep doing that, when you're married, you got to keep dating.
Oh, for sure.
If you don't, you'll lose that relationship.
For sure.
And that's what happens. They just get married and they lose themselves and they just go on this different road.
And a lot of people, and I think because I got married so young, and I did think that it was the way to go. It's so much work. It's work every single day. Marriage is not the ending. It's truly, as corny as it sounds, a very hard beginning. If you're married to somebody and you want to stay with them, like, it's gonna take work every freaking day. Like, if you want to be happy anyways, or
marriage is like a tree that continues to need to be watered.
There you go.
If you don't do that, it will die.
Yes.
And that's what happens.
Well, a lot of people I've noticed, and I experienced it too, but I was young. Whenever I got married, I just feel like myself and a lot of people are like, oh, I'm married. I can, not get excited about things, and everything's set in motion, and I just have to cook dinners. We're going to have some kids and whatever. And then completely wrong on those thoughts.
Well, that's what happens. And I told this story in a previous episode. I was at a business conference that I had to speak at. Ran into an old colleague. We're at the bar. And he was asking me how things are going. We were catching up. I told him my marriage is pretty much done. And he was divorced twice before. What he told me was, here's the thing. And he nailed it. A marriage is typically 3 parts. 1, the romance stage, the honeymoon stage where everything's all new, giddy. You're a couple. Number 2, you prepare for kids. You get the kids, you raise them, send them off to college. Number 3 is now you're back with each other again, but you never grew the relationship and you look at it, who is this person? You grew so far apart that you can no longer date. You don't like the person because you never kept growing together. So it's like this tree and the branches go in 2 different directions. And it's sad.
It is sad.
Because you were in love at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't continue to water the tree. They went their own ways. They got in their own habits. And they lost becoming the couple they got married for.
Yes. It is very sad.
It is sad because a lot of relationships don't need to end that way if they just worked on it. It doesn't take that much effort. First of all, you got to bite your tongue once in a while. But also understand that you'll have a bad day. The other person's going to have a bad day. And you're there to support them.
And also know if they're not right for you in the beginning before you get married. That's a big one, too.
Yep. I've seen a lot of relationships.
Just
because now the men are going to, the men need, their ego and their masculinity needs to be reinforced. And a woman, if she does that, it'll be better. But we're talking about why men are pigs because they have to still feel that protector. Typically, they're thought of the warriors, the protectors. That's the traditional role of what was ingrained. And it's still there for the DNA of a man in many parts.
Yes. Back to the subject, why men are pigs. I just had a thought, and I'm like, well, I think maybe because society is just getting weird. But then again, I feel like they've always, well, there's good men and there's bad men. And the one that we're talking about are pigs, right? Why,
no, men have all pigged them in them. Remember, level 1 to 10. There's always elements of it. It doesn't mean they're going to act on it, but their thought process and how they are, there's still elements there.
Well, it has to be sexual then, right?
A lot of it is.
Yeah. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense to me as, like, thinking of everybody as a human, like an equal human being. And I just always go back to men need sex and women need emotional support.
Women need sex too, though.
Oh, for sure. But, like, I just feel like those 2 are most important.
Right, but
does that make sense?
Yeah, but they each treat the act differently. With men, sometimes they just need their dick sucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, sexual.
And women want that emotional connection in the bedroom. And if you have emotional and physical connection in the bedroom, there's nothing like it. It's money. Mm-hmm. But sometimes if guys aren't feeling appreciated, they go out to the conquest phase and they just want to bang somebody.
Yeah.
To feel that affirmation that there's somebody. And that's what you see a lot of. And I'm stunned at the amount of dudes that do that.
Oh, I know. How do I explain it? I've thought about why I've thought about trying to figure out why, I should say, they keep doing that. And I just always go back to they're just not fixing it at home. Like, I feel like they marry their wives for a reason. And, well, hopefully they marry their wives because they love them,
One would think so.
And maybe some of them didn't. Maybe they were just insecure or whatever. But, okay, for the men that actually love their wives and they married them because of that, I feel like the wife just isn't getting her emotional support. And that's why he's out seeking sexual gratification from other females, because I feel like men are pretty simple.
Oh, we're very simple creatures.
Right? Like, I feel like he would be, like, I feel like just from watching and my own, unprofessional opinion, that if he marries someone he loves and she's sexually there for him, I feel like when that happens, the couples are pretty freaking happy. Like, for every single time I see them.
I would say that's probably 8% of the time. Unless the dude gets bored, unless she's too subservient sometimes. There's no pushback a little bit. So that could be part of it. It's not universal. Everything we're talking about is not universal.
For sure.
But yeah, if a man's getting his sexual needs or feels it, sometimes that's emotional too for a guy. where it's more of a, does he feel special? Does he feel like the protector? Does he feel like but now I can go to the other extreme, like, oh, he's too much. I got to try it somewhere else because he's too safe there. So it becomes this balancing act too. Sometimes the guy needs those conquest to feel so, because
I feel
maybe you're getting at work.
Before you get married. Like after being married, I feel like you got to figure all that shit out.
I agree with you. But what happens is maybe his job, where he's not in a power position of a job, and he's getting beat up at his job, and his wife's too subservient. He's going, okay, I need some affirmation somewhere. And it can happen. A woman's nice. There you go.
Yeah.
And sometimes a woman will feed into that because, oh, he's married. They see a challenge. I'll bet you can get him in bed. And women can do that too. Mm-hmm. So they play off on that.
I've seen it.
Why do you think strip clubs are all over the place? Why do you think men watch porn? Because they're not getting satisfied in a certain way. So it's an extension of another problem.
And that's why when we say white men are pigs, and maybe because I've just, I'm 30 years old, so haven't been through enough, I've been through enough experiences to have my opinion that I don't think they're just wild animals anymore. Like I really think that it's a sexual thing.
Most of the time it is, because there's some other element, but it's also conquest that feeds their ego. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's in that element. However, with that said, they will screw over their wife, their family, their good life, their friends for a piece of ass.
Yeah, if they're not getting it right. Mm-hmm.
That's what's sad. Sometimes even if they're getting it, something new.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Men, even if they don't act on it, a lot of them will be thinking that way. And they'll talk about like, God, if I weren't married. There is a still naturalistic element in their DNA.
Okay.
So they will look at it. And if that presents it, because I don't know if we're meant to be monogamous creatures. I don't know.
Right.
So there's that element of it.
I was thinking about that too. You worded it perfectly.
So guys are thinking that way.
Confusing.
Yeah. So they still want that conquest. There's some of it. But I've had a number of friends. A lot of people over here, they know the rules of the house. Because I host sometimes a poker game, occasionally at the house. And the rules is like, don't hit on the game, girls. Don't hit on women that come in the house. They're friends of mine. I'm dating them. They're friends of somebody else. Just leave them alone. Mm-hmm. Right? And the number of times that these guys, and I know who they are typically, they'll ask for phone numbers. I don't invite women over here that I don't trust. They tell me. And I know which ways to do it. They never do it in front of you. They always wait to go to the bathroom, or they do it on the slide. They always have a pitch. It's, hey, I have connections here, or what about this? And they get their information the backdoor way. And they start texting them. And I hear it all. And I've called guys out. I'm like, really? He goes, what? And I tell them exactly what happened. And they turn white as a sheet. I go,
are we still on married men?
We're just talking men in general.
Men in general, okay.
That they know the women are over here, not for them. I don't run a dating service here.
Right.
And it's hard for men to understand that. They think, oh, look, I hang around with beautiful women. I just do. It's better than ugly ones, right? But I'll hang around with beautiful women. And so I know the game. If you're going to hang out with beautiful women, you're going to be fired upon. If I go to a bar with a beautiful woman, I know dudes are going to fire at them. The woman has all the control there in that particular situation, because a guy's going to hit on her, buy a drink. If I go to the bathroom, there's going to be a guy on her. And then it's her power, how she handles it. If she encourages it or simply nice because she doesn't want to tell him he's a dick, move away, the guy's going to keep firing because, oh, she's being nice to me. She must want me. So that's what happens. So now me or the other guy is put in an awkward position. Do I put my stake in the ground and say, hey, dude, buzz off? Or do you have that quiet confidence? It becomes on the woman. It becomes all on the woman.
I feel like, and maybe that I've really only seen it in these situations is when alcohol is involved. I feel like that's the only time I've ever seen men and women, I guess, come out of character, right? I'm trying to think of a scenario where there's a sober setting.
I see it every time. Doesn't matter.
In sober settings as well?
Yeah, when you're talking to any group of large people, again, when you're going into a bar or a restaurant, especially a bar, because it's a mingling thing, but sometimes you must go out and listen to music at a bar. Or hang out, watch sports, or just for a couple of drinks. You can't even do that without somebody firing a shot.
True.
It's just going to happen. And if you're going to date beautiful women or be around beautiful women, it's going to be fired upon. Again, the woman still has the control there because she can either make this a very easy thing. Hey, no, I'm with him. Thank you very much. If they say the wrong thing, this guy's going to be on her like right away. And I've had that. It's like, oh, we're just friends. Now the guy's not back.
I feel like it's the same thing every time. Just
because then you sit there
God, and you're like, stop staring at me like that.
But not even staring. I remember.
Oh no.
I had a situation. I was kind of dating this girl. It wasn't anything serious. And we go to this bar, and literally before her butt hits the ground, she's sitting here. The guy, she was on my right. I was on the left, and this other single guy was just happened to see on the right. Before her butt hit the ground, I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Before her butt hit the fucking seat, I'm going, "Here we go." and she's very nice and oblivious, and so she's engaging with this conversation, ignoring me at the moment, which is kind of like rude. And then I hear him whisper, "So is that your boyfriend?" It's like, "Oh, we're just friends." Wrong thing to freaking say. So now I got to step into this thing. I go, "Hey, dude, not cool. We're here to have a good time. Please, can you just lay off?" And so somehow he finally backed down and like went his own way. But she encouraged it by saying the wrong thing. Because it's like, oh, that's a go-ahead sign. No, I'm not seeing him. We're just friends.
But were y'all just, how was that situation?
We were friends with benefits.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, wrong answer for.
Yeah, definitely wrong answer. Because she wasn't ready for a relationship, and I told her that. But she's always nice to people. She's just one of these outgoing women who just has this bubbliness about her and doesn't understand.
Oh, yeah. Maybe if you said that, then she's like.
And she's not a young woman. She's 50.
Oh, so.
Kind of a little clueless in that way. But,
yeah, okay.
But she likes the attention, too.
Okay. I was like, I don't think she meant any harm by that.
She didn't mean any harm, but it creates a tough situation. And all I'm saying from a man's perspective, it puts me in an awkward position, but the guys are going to fire.
But then again, if you're honest from the very beginning about the friends with benefits thing, and if y'all are still going out.
Well, we started dating. We went there to just have drinks together. It wasn't, we're not going separate ways. We're there together. And now you're encouraging this guy who's, I'm a guy, I know the game. She's just oblivious. She really is. And I've told her, she goes, "Really? I was just being nice." I'm like, "Can't do that. Here's what happens. You put me in a bad position. Are we hanging out together or not?" Because guys are going to fire. The point of it is guys are going to fire. They have nothing to lose because they're with nobody. They can't lose in that situation. The woman has control. The other guy who comes in with the hot woman, he's the one that has everything to lose, and he's put in the position that he has to make a decision. How you respond then is dependent on how the woman handles it or what her expectations. You have to read that situation, and it can be very awkward. But it's expected. So if you don't want to be put in those positions, this is what you're going to deal with. Because again, men are going to fire. They're always going to fire. Women aren't going to fire at dudes most of the time in that situation. Guys are going to fire all the time.
Yes.
Nonstop.
For sure.
And so you're fighting. There's a machine gun pointed at you all the time.
Yep. And that's where I like go back to the whole, fuck yes, please buy me a drink. One of you vultures, please. Right,
but then when a man buys a drink, now he thinks he kind of he owns you.
Yeah,
you got that perspective too.
That's true. That is true.
And a drunk woman, if a woman's drunk, men are just vultures. It's sad. The amount of women that are sexually assaulted after having alcohol and guys take them home or whatever, if they sense that, they're predators. Mm-hmm. And that's sad. And I know I've stopped a number of sexual assaults.
I was about to say, I was like, shout out to the men and women that notice that.
You got to do it.
Stop it. Yeah. Like,
I'm blessed with a 6'4" body and Detroit attitude. So I'm very blessed there. And I remember one instance where
are you from Detroit?
Oh, yeah, the hood.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Detroit, yes.
Okay.
Inner city.
Cool.
Not quite the inner city. No. It's Detroit. Detroit's the whole inner city. Let's be honest.
Nice.
But is that the domain?
Right? Was it nice? Well, no, it wasn't. Anyway, continue.
Population sucks. That's why everybody left. It taught me a lot. I have very good peripheral vision on things. So is that the domain?
Detroit does that to you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Need some peripheral
or get your
vision.
ass kicked real quick. Had that happen too. So, end up coming out of the bar. It's 2 a.m. I'm waiting for my Uber, and I see this woman over there. And this guy's, I won't say manhandling, but it's very awkwardly handsy. It's not a relationship that was love-based. It wasn't both ways. One guy was definitely very overly handsy. Now another guy comes to this, and he starts getting handsy with her.
Oh, God.
I said, this is not good. I walk up. I said, ma'am, are you okay? Both these guys take off, right?
Ooh.
Not running. They just leave. She goes, I'm okay. They're my friends. They go, no, they're not. I go, if they were your friends, they would have stood here when I came up there and said, no, we're okay. I saw what was happening. They were not your friends. She broke down in tears.
Aw.
She was hammered. I go, I'm going to wait here till your Uber gets here. I'm going to make sure you get in the car and get you home. So that was a situation that was going to go very badly.
Ugh.
Another one, I went to, I won't say the name of it, but it was an after-hours club here in Austin. Went there with a friend of mine. She was a little buzzed. And we went there, ran into some other people I know, and the two girls went out on the dance floor, both hot. I go, oh boy, here we go. And I watched, and literally the swarm of guys right around them, a circle around them. I said, oh, the vultures are out intact.
Vultures with the caucus.
So I'm getting a couple of drinks, and the one girl comes back, and I go, where is so-and-so? She's still dancing. I'm like, this is not good. So,
She's being attacked.
So I literally go over there, and this guy is all over her. And she was, at this point, getting more than a little buzzed. And he was going hands. I go, come on, let's go. And he gets in my face, goes, what the are you doing? I go, she came with me. She's leaving with me. Back off, dude. He literally followed us, okay?
Oh, my
He
God.
danced maybe half a song with her. Half a song. Maybe 3/4. As we're walking, I go, come on, let's go have a little talk. I'm trying to get her like uninebriated at this point. And she goes, I have to go to the bathroom first. So she goes to the bathroom. He starts following her to the bathroom. I put my arm against
Oh
the door.
my
I go,
God.
dude, where the fuck are you going? He goes, I make sure she's okay. I go, none of your business. Who are you? I go, none of your business.
Unless you have a vagina, get out of the
And then he
ladies' room.
goes, well, I'm going to go get the manager, so-and-so. And the boss, I go, good, tell him Kevin sent you. That stopped him real quick. Now his buddy's there with him. So they were literally following us around. I said, we need to leave. This is not a good situation. Got our purse. We ordered the Uber. As we're waiting outside, they're sitting there waiting. Literally followed us almost to the Uber. What is wrong with these guys? These are the predatory nature of some guys. They see a drunk chick as an easy target.
Yes.
And this is where they're pigs.
And I've seen it plenty of times, and it still like just shocks me every time I hear a new story. And I'm just like, why do they get that weird? It's one thing to like shoot your shot and back off. It's another thing to do what we
Oh, yeah.
discussed.
Yeah, they'll encourage it and they'll take them down. Dudes, why?
Why?
Is it that much fun?
It's weird.
It's conquest. Same kind of mentality.
It's not conquest. That's like,
In their mind, it is.
I don't understand how they think that. I'm like,
They
that's
just
not.
do.
I just don't. I'm like, you look like a freaking
They're insecure.
weirdo,
They're insecure
dude.
dudes. But it's the DNA, and that's where women have to be very careful because men are
it's
big. They're waiting there.
fucking, well, retarded is apparently not the word. They're retards. Like,
No, they're scum. They're predators.
yeah, that's a better word.
They're scum. They're bad people. They'll do bad things and take advantage of women because they're insecure and they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to approach a woman, and they'd rather take the easy one. It's sad.
But yes, I feel like most of these men are in their, late 30s. You would think they'd figure it out a little bit to not be creepy, I guess is.
Nope. They're just better at it. Or some of them have been taken off the table now at that point. But a lot of the younger guys, yes, because they're insecure. But even some of the older guys, they'll take advantage of drunk women. I don't want to take a woman's half pass out of home. I want her into the act. If I go to home with somebody, I want them active. Why not just masturbate that at that point?
Yeah.
Why would you
that's
do that?
Normal.
Because it's about the conquest. It's about the ego.
You know what?
It's sad.
I thought of a sober situation. Gas stations. Women have to deal with this
Yep.
stuff at gas stations. Like, can't even go and pump gas. And if I don't go into the gas station with an angry look in my face, like, people are whistling at me, freaking, I'm going to pump my gas, and they're like just standing there weirdly by the pump, and you're like,
Point proven.
dude.
You can't, because men
And
are
that's
pigs.
a sober situation, hopefully.
Well, it's sad that women have to deal with that all the time, but this is why men are pigs. You have to be vigilant all the time. You just have to be. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of women aren't as vigilant as they need to be. Don't leave your friends behind, because there's a guy waiting out there. Make sure you're sharing your location.
Yes.
Always. Because I've seen a number of times where women have left their drunk friend behind. They just didn't want to deal with it. There's
bullshit.
Another woman on 6th Street. She was sitting on the curb. Bars are closed. They just closed down. She could barely sit up. I go, ma'am, are you okay? She goes, I can't find my friends. I said, well, why don't you call them? She goes, my phone is out of charge. I go, where are they staying? I go, look, this is how drunk up she was. Thank God I was the right guy. I said, let me take care of here. I have my driver here. I just have a paid driver that was driving. I helped her into the van. Or not van, it sounds creepy, right? Yeah, the white van, there's no windows. I got her in
gave her some candy.
In the truck. I go, we're going to get you to safety. So I got her home, got her sobered up, charged her phone. I don't even know her name. And we called the Uber and sent her home. And if I'm the wrong guy, I could have taken advantage of her. I could have taken advantage of her so easy. Thank God it was me.
I do not care how mad I am at my friend. Like, I am not going to leave my girlfriend by herself drunk. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It happens.
I know.
So many women I know, the number's really high, especially
we can fight tomorrow.
Sexually assaulted.
We can punch each other tomorrow, but right now I'm making sure you're home safe.
Well, the sexual assault level's through the roof. It's sad. I can't think. Yes, I can. Maybe 90% of the women, younger women, under 30, have probably been sexually assaulted in some way, some form, either totally raped or sexually assaulted in some way, or put in a position that it was going to happen.
Yep.
If they haven't, then they've been lucky, but they're usually very young, and they're going to make that mistake. Yep. It takes one mistake, and the guys are out there to do it. They are just waiting. The numbers game. I always have this expression: a stiff dick knows no conscience, and that's sad.
It's very sad.
You combine it with that.
It's very sad when I'm like, I don't even know if we should call them pigs, because pigs are actually smart and emotional creatures.
But they're simple. Pigs. And that's what women just have to understand. That
I'm like, man.
You have to be, with that, there's some labels.
They're just evil, I guess. I don't know. Or is evil even a word?
Wow, I'm not evil.
No. Ones that take advantage of women like that.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think of a better predators.
The predators.
Men are predators.
All men.
Make it correct.
No, we do stupid shit. I can guarantee that. I mean, I do not understand why guys send dick pics.
Yeah.
There's no upside.
It's the same pose every time.
There's only one pose, stiff it out, right?
It's weird. I am impressed by the towel ones. Whenever they hang the towel on their wee-wees. Yeah.
Wee-wees? Did you really say wee-wees?
Well, they're fucking dicks. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I hang like comforters on mine, but
that one's impressive just because I'm like, all right, that's cool. You can hang a towel on.
It's probably linen. Is it a full beach towel or just washcloth? Yeah, there you go.
I've seen all of them, like beach towels, linens, regular towels. I'm not sure of the cotton.
Wow, you got a full closet hanging on a dick.
I'm telling you. Been a lot of dick pics in my life.
I don't understand why but
I'm not proud.
There's not a lot.
I didn't want most of them.
It's illegal to do that now.
Yeah, I know.
But why guys, there's no upside. Really, in general, there's no upside. Unless you have something massive, but then you might scare her off. There's that element of surprise because women are visual most of the time.
Visual?
They're not visual, they're more emotional. Guys are more visual, okay? So now, I do know that women check out guys' crotches in bars and stuff.
Oh, for sure. We definitely like the visuals.
You definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Guys don't know that part. So they think it's okay to send a dick pic then. They never send a dick pic.
So weird.
What's your upside? Seriously, as a guy, there's very little upside to sending a dick pic.
Unless they ask for it, which is cool.
Right. But then you got to tease them. If they ask for it, you got a little tease.
Wait. You're saying, no, I'm saying if the girl asks
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If the girl asks for a dick pic, at least tease a little bit. Guys will say, okay, here you go. You ask a guy for a dick pic, he'll send it. He can't get the phone out and his dick out fast enough.
That's true.
He's going to whip it out immediately.
Yeah.
They have no reservation about that. Oh, she wants it. Then you look at it and go, really? Is that all you got?
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. There's no upside.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess it's for their own pleasure, maybe?
They think that's what they want.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of because, I mean, 9 times out of 10, when I receive one, I'm like,
what do you do with that, right?
exactly.
Yeah, it's not like boobs. I mean, because boobs, a lot of women get surgery on boobs. Guys don't get surgery on their dicks.
Yeah, I know. And God, I'd much rather see titties.
So would I.
So much better.
Right.
At least there's different poses.
Huh?
There's different poses.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could. Well.
Like with dick pics, it's just. I feel like it's just unless it's a towel or whatever.
But it's not a dick pic though. It's covered.
That's impressive.
You can hide that then.
Yeah, but
I mean, you can put a baseball bat between your legs and kind of squeeze it and think it's a dick pic.
That's true. But what's the point? Still, right?
Well, impressed. You got impressed with the towel pictures. There you go. Right?
Yeah.
See, but it was a dick pic though.
Yeah.
You could tell the circumcised or uncircumcised. Couldn't tell, could you?
I have actually never seen in person an uncircumcised penis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with this conversation. I don't know where to go with this conversation.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. No, I mean, okay.
I just had that thought because I'm like, interesting.
No fan mail, please. No dick pics sent to my website. Please don't do that.
Even like throughout all the dick pics, like I think maybe I'd be impressed if I at least got an uncircumcised one. Never have. Ever.
You know you've opened that Pandora's box now.
Oh.
If I get one dick pic that's uncircumcised to my website with the message "pass it on," it ain't happening.
Oh, you can sue now. Yeah, like
No,
$500.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that.
I would. I'll take care of it.
I would. You don't sue. You don't sue for that. That means I'd be traumatized. It takes a lot to traumatize me. That just means that it's a criminal offense.
Oh, I thought you get like paid for it. You don't? I don't know.
That's called sex work, but no. I could post it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could make a hey, OnlyFans page, unsolicited dick pics. Here you go.
Oh.
Now, but I'd have to get it released. No, they couldn't identify who it is though.
That's not a bad idea.
I could probably get away with that. Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I like
We
that.
can partner up in that.
Yeah, that gives me hope.
I don't want to see him though.
I don't either.
I just want to cash the checks.
For sure. Same.
So what's the point? I guess it's a niche.
Well, I'm saying.
But you know how many men would do that though? If you said send in dick pics, you know how many dick pics would come in?
Dude.
I know.
And then we post them on OnlyFans?
No. I do not want to be known for posting dick pics, okay?
Shit. I'll take the blame.
Hey, how'd you make your money? Well,
I'll give you 20% profit.
I made my first $1 million on uncircumcised dick pics. You talk about the neighbors talking about you then.
I've been waiting for my big
Try
break.
showing up at church after that one. Try showing up at church after that one.
It's my big break.
I'll pass on that one. I'd rather go to a soup kitchen. So anyways, wow, that went sideways. But the point is, men would do that in a heartbeat because they're pigs. They would do that kind of stuff in a heartbeat. And it's just, that's just what we are. But we are pigs. They will, I hold my relationships pretty good. I won't stab anybody in the back. The bro code exists.
Do you think men stay pigs all their lives?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, that sucks.
No, they may drop a few levels. They may go from a 7 to a 4 or a 7 to a 3.
Mm.
They're not going to go from a 10 to
there.
1. They're not going to go from a 10 to a 1.
Okay.
If they do, it's rare.
Yeah, then again, like there's been a lot of creepy old men. I feel like
Right.
Yeah.
There's a reason there's a term for that. You don't hear creepy old women, you're creepy old men. Mm-hmm. Right? Or dirty old men, dirty grandpa, all that stuff. Yeah. There's reasons for that. There's a basis for it. How many grandpas sit there and want to, see that young schoolgirl? Mm-hmm. Over 18. Over 18, I'm saying.
All of them?
Yeah, exactly. And my dad would make a stupid comment. I remember he was telling me the story about poker, where he was in Vegas playing poker. And we were talking about poker tales. He goes, yeah, this one woman who's playing poker, he goes, every time she got a good hand, her nipples would pop. I go, Dad, I don't want to hear the story.
I would love to see that.
You would want to meet my dad. Well, he's dead
now.
now.
No, I'm talking about the nipple popper.
Well, so would I, but I just want to hear my dad say it. Dad, don't talk to me about nipples, all right? It's kind of weird. especially moms. That gets weird.
Nipple popper.
But again, by me having those conversations, that just shows you, I mean, men have no problem with talking about that stuff. And it happens a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of locker room talk all the time. And so when people say someone's bad for locker room talk, the women just happen to hear it, but guys talk about it all the time. Now, women do that too. They're just smarter about it.
For sure.
But guys have no problem with doing that. The problem I have is when guys are cheating on their wives or stabbing their friends in the back for just a piece of ass. That's my biggest gripe, because they will throw a great person. They will blow up relationships over that one moment of sexual gratification.
Yeah, and that one always confuses me, because you think that they're good people sometimes, and then they'll do that. And, like, you'll think that, well, I met men that I thought were good people, and then they end up just doing something that's, I don't think is, what's the word I'm looking for? Good as a person? Or, well, good.
Acceptable?
Well,
ethical?
just like ethical.
Morally?
Morally. And you're just like,
it just takes that one
why?
incident to blow the reputation out the door.
Yeah.
And that's
you're
a
just
sad
like,
one.
it's very sad.
And they will do that. The amount of times I've heard of a man leaving his wife for the mistress, and it was a good marriage or a good wife, leaving for the mistress, and it not working out. Shocker, you cheated on the wife, and then, wait, your mistress cheated on you?
Yep.
And you're pissed?
God.
And part of that is because he feels better about themselves because he only sees the mistress in nice situations, romantic situations, these exhilarating. And now you have to live with this person.
Yep.
And it blows up. And then you're mad at her for cheating on you. And then he tries to go back to the ex-wife. I've heard that so many times. It's like, whoopsie.
Pathetic.
Second choice, right? We talked about that earlier.
See, that just means that they just want excitement. Usually also they're pigs, but
And so that is
well,
kind.
ultimately when I've like witnessed like that situation that you just said, like mistress cheating, going back to wife, finding another mistress, I'm like, okay, obviously like they're not meant for a relationship.
Right, but it's
Like they just want excitement.
but it's also
like,
DNA.
oh yeah. You didn't mention
It really is. They're partially ingrained, but that's the sad part. Is they'll continue to do that stupid shit all the time.
We are part animal, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I think.
But I had a friend defend it one time because he was hitting on this girl I was dating. And he goes, I don't know why you're so mad. That's what guys do. I go, not friends.
Mm-hmm.
I go, if that's who you are, then I don't want you as a friend.
Oh, hell no.
You can't defend it. It's impossible to defend.
It's just, again, more like you're like, if you're doing that in front of me, what would you do behind my back?
I had this couple that was a friend of mine, and their buddy, they came over for a few drinks. And the one guy had went out on the balcony. And I'm watching his friend, who's married, by the way, hitting on the dude's girlfriend in front of me, like rubbing his hand, trying to go up her thigh, and she's pushing it down. I'm like, this in front of me. So I go to the porch, I go, dude, you may want to get inside right now. I'm not telling what's going on. I go, you might want to get inside. Your friend's a little outside. No, he's cool. He's the best friend of mine. I go, dude, you need to get inside. Just get inside. I'm not going to tell him what I saw. That's not my role at that point, but you just need to get inside. But watching it, married, hitting on his best friend's girl.
Oh, God.
In front of me.
Disgusting.
So I see it all the time.
Ugh.
But anyways, we could talk about that. All sorts of stuff. I just gave you a couple of those. Well, Callie, thanks again for joining us. It's been fun.
Of course. Thank you for the invite.
And thanks again for listening in on Love, Life, and Lies. Just remember, live, love, and enjoy life. I'm your host, Kevin Evans. Take care.